Rideshare drivers, quick follow-up, second live feed in a row, back-to-back here, but we got to get this out because this is breaking news. This just on Twitter from the office of the governor of California. California, thank you for voting for me, California, right? But it is Gavin Newsom. Signature, he signed the bill. Thank you. We appreciate you, Gavin Newsom. Right, it says, hashtag AB5 lifts up workers' voices. Misclassification of workers is a decades-long problem that is bad for workers, employers who do things right, and the economy. With Governor Newsom's signature, and you can send him a note at Gavin Newsom. Thank you for standing up for the drivers. I urge everyone to send a shout out, because now that the signature, now that he's put his full weight behind the bill, let the negotiations begin. Now they're going to fight. Now we see the epic battle, right? And this means we have the upper hand. This means we push for better conditions, better pay, better rights, a voice, etc., right? This creates a lot of bargaining power on our side now that he has signed it, right? So with Governor Gavin Newsom's signature and Lorena 8080's bill is a victory for the labor movement. Hashtag California for all. And as goes California, so will many other states and many other countries as well, right? They will look at this day. This is a huge, in my eyes, this is a huge victory, because by getting the 29-11 vote and now getting the governor to sign this, now we say, Uber, Lyft, sit down at the table, folks, and we hash it out. Will they fight? Will they spend that $90 million? You bet they will. They're going to come out swinging. But now we have a good, legitimate fight on our hands, and we'll negotiate. We'll see if they want to negotiate, right? We know what we want. We want the flexibility. We want the ability to choose whatever company, but we want to, at the end of the day, get paid better and have more rights, right? Period. That's why we fought day in, day out, night and day to get this bill passed. So thanks to you guys. And now there will always be different opinions on AB5, but I can tell you by this guy, by the governor, and again, send him a tweet note, tweet him at Gavin Newsom. Thank you for standing up for millions of drivers. We appreciate you. I'm going to do that. There's a picture of them behind me. I'll put the link in there as well so that you can follow the link. But again, thank you. Carly's Kruger says, we are screwed. And you're obviously entitled to your thoughts, but it sounds like you were pretty happy with the way it was, Carly. So, hey, if you drive for those rates, I don't. I can tell you that. I don't drive for pennies, right? But if you're willing to do that, okay. I see it as a big W, because now you negotiated out of a point of power, right? And we'll get better pay, and hopefully also retroactive pay. God, someone here is in utter fear. Carlies, they are going to control us now. No one's ever controlled me. Do you feel controlled, Carlies? Sounds like you live in fear. You never live in fear, my friend. If you're already in fear, false illusions appearing real, right? You've lost already. If you surrender to fear, you've lost. So that statement right there, they are going to control us now. That's a fear statement. That's someone that is scared. You never, ever show that you're afraid in life, right? Fear should never enter our cellular structure, right? We're above fear. We're way better than that. Exactly. There you go. The Muay Thai ref says they can't control anybody. The drivers control everything. That's it, right? So Get out of that fear state of mind, Carly. I suggest do some work on that. Why you feel like you're being controlled by them. Step out of that role and find your inner power, really. Cool, Tony. Got a court date, 23rd of October. Hope all goes well. So if the governor's for it, it's bad. No, it's what the people wanted, right? Anyway, it's going to be hard getting through to your mindset, but that's not my goal. You know, there are a few that will that are not willing to fight the fight, and whatever you are, I'm a dude. If a guy or a girl, I couldn't care if you're a guy or a girl. I'm just telling you that I'm reading your statements out loud, and they sound like you're very afraid. 75-25. Sure, if we can negotiate that, we're in the winning seat. Go back to pre-2016. Sure, if we can negotiate that, we're in the winning seat, right? Toronto. I mean, Toronto will look at this ruling. Alfredo wants 80-20. I'm with you, my friend. I'm with you, Alfredo. Cool. I just wanted to. My case is rolling along. Thank you for asking, Edwin. My case is rolling along, right? The good thing is I got the ball rolling. I also made that decision. That's a big one for me. It's just like, okay, stand up for what I believe they owe me, as have millions of other drivers stood up for what they believe the company owes them. Carly's asks, not afraid, but what happens if Uber and Lyft leaves? They won't leave. You think they're going to leave the biggest markets? No. You think they're going to leave San Francisco, Los Angeles, their biggest markets, their biggest 4 markets? Never. Right? Never, ever. So don't be afraid. But do have the courage to negotiate, right? Step up. Do whatever you can. Share the stories, because the media is hearing us right now, right? The governor knows the people that voted him in, right? A lot of them are drivers, right? He needs them. So now he represents us. If he puts that signature there, he better fight for us, right? Muay Thai ref says they won't leave and give another tech company a chance to run with a blueprint. Exactly. Uber Lyft merger is almost inevitable. I don't think that they would allow that type of merger, because that would create a monopoly. Governments don't allow monopolies. If they could monopolize the rideshare business, not a good thing. It's always good to have multiple players. James T says we do most of the work. Yes, we do. James T says, screw the cheap passengers. I say the same, right? It's time for the passengers to step up and pay what we are worth. And the companies cannot be shy to demand that from the passengers and pass on those earnings to us, right? You can't give the passenger free little handouts all the time, right? You got to charge them accordingly and pass those earnings on to the driver. Not at all. Not at all, Tito. Doesn't affect it at all, because we're setting us up as an exclusive scheduling platform, scheduling relationships, drivers that have created relationships with drivers, so with passengers, sorry. So it's more based on a scheduled trip, right, versus driving around, doing dead miles, etc. There's way more structure and organized matchups in our platform. Thank you, Sam. Juno's a no-show. Juno's nobody. They're done. They fried. Anybody still I wouldn't put $1 on the donkey called Juno. Not even 10 cents on the donkey called Juno. They're done. And and even the company that bought Juno for $200 million, they're done as well. The name's Jet, G-H-E-T-T. They plummeting overseas. They're done. Oh, 100%, Tony. See, Tony asked a good question. Do you think that Uber and Lyft have been on the same team to drive down prices? Since they did these collaborations in the San Francisco Chronicle, doing announcement together, pooling money, pooling 60 millions to fight AB5, they've been doing a lot of backroom deals together. And no doubt about that, the price fixing, the controlling of the pay, the referral pays, etc., they're in bed together. From the outside, it may not seem like it. You got Uber and Lyft here, but they cozy up and sleep in a king-size bed together at night. No doubt about it. Robert Hoonicker, no fear negotiations. 100%. We are not coming from fear. We're coming from power. And we're showing that by the caravans we're doing, by the protests. We are certainly mastering the courts of public opinion by engaging the media very, very effectively, as our previous guests, Munib and Edward, also said, right? That battle, we're one up on them, right? So even if them spending $500 million on a PR company failed horribly, right? What the company, the core essentials that a CEO of either company need to address yesterday is, how do we create the bridges? How do we get the respect? How do we get back in with the drivers? Not how can we work against the drivers? How can we destroy the drivers? How can we make them feel unwelcome? How can we say they are not the core of the business? You're doing everything in self-destruct mode, right? Logan and Dara, your attitude is self-destruct. You bring this upon yourselves. Instead of saying, hey, instead of the 90 million and the 500 million spent on PR, how can we use $590 million and work together? How can we work on safety, security, driver relationships, better pay? You guys don't understand the formula, my friends. It's short-term thinking. Hey, made my 5.4 billion, cash out, get out, greed, right? How do we operate long-term? How do we get Uber and Lyft into 2025, into 2030? You take that $590 million that you guys just pissed down the drain. You literally flushed it down the toilet. With that 590 million, you look at campaigns that work. And I would call it the bridge campaign, right? How do I build bridges? How do I build my relationship, Uber and Lyft, with the drivers? What can I do as the CEO of Uber and Lyft to regain the trust, to get the people to the table, to reward them a little bit better, instead of fighting them, trying to humiliate them in the media? What Tony West said was so damaging, and we have to call him out until he actually comes out and gives drivers an apology. Get out of your fucking ego, Tony West, and come in and give an apology on Dustin's channel, Gio's channel, Torsten's channel. I am sorry for what I said. It was wrong. Get out of your ego, right? Because whatever you're doing there is not working. It just really, really hurts the morale of the drivers. Oscar Raz says, go Cowboys. We will support your team. Go Cowboys. Joe Lovato, they don't listen. Tony has no guts. I agree. But it's our duty to call out the Tonys, right? It's our duty to hold up the mirror to Tony. It's our duty to hold, here, how do we do it, right? There, look, shine the light on that roach, right? Where is he? That Tony Roach, where is he? Oh, he's down here. Okay, shine the light on him, right? That shit doesn't fly in our world, right? Doesn't. It's extremely, extremely disrespectful of an executive who's making the money on our backs to talk about us in that fashion. And I don't care if you're black or white. I don't care who made that statement. The bottom line is it's disrespectful towards all drivers, right? And the public needs to know this. The public needs to know how the company is treating the drivers, right? So my goal of my channel is to, yes, it is to enroll drivers and show them how to get the maximum pay, how to get the maximum earnings, right? out of rideshare, to truly understand rideshare and to work smart, not hard, right? But it's also my role to be a voice for the drivers and say, and hold these fools accountable, right? To put some control mechanism on their greed and say, you know what, that you're going a little bit overboard here. Let's Talk Rideshare says, don't F with fire ants. I 100% agree. Not a good idea to mess with fire ants, right? Because you got a 3 million fire ants crawling into your office, into your executive chair, and biting you everywhere. Not a good feeling, Dara. Okay, we're doing great. 411, good to see you here, my friend. So, you know, this is a step in the right direction, and be strong. Governor Newsom, you wielded the power of the pen, signed the bill, and now we negotiate, right? We're open to negotiations. Bring it, Uber and Lyft, bring it to the table, right? But treat the drivers fairly. Don't trash talk the drivers. Tony West, lesson learned. Come out, apologize, right? So you wanna do the right PR work, start with the drivers. I'm with you on that, Mosley. Let's go back to 80-20. If we could, I'm happy with 75-25, very happy. I'm even happy with 70-30, but I'm not happy now with 50-50 or 60 them, 40 us. That doesn't fly. And they've done this in the last 6 months, right? So, all right, my friends, that was a quick one. We had to just, breaking news, AB5. We had to announce it. We have to send a thank you to through Twitter to @Gavin Newsom. We know how powerful tweeting is, right? Extremely powerful. So if you don't have your Twitter account, there's really two signs, the @ sign and the hashtag sign, right? Go and watch a tutorial on how to tweet or how to set up a Twitter account and use it as a driver, right? Leverage your power, my friends. Carly, what is the question? You said, can someone answer me? I would like to try and answer you, but I don't know what your question was. Thomas, thank you. You say thank you, Torsten. I say thank you. You guys, you are the inspiration. You are the motivators. In my eyes, that's who motivates me. That's who inspires me. The people in our house. Our house in the middle of the street. Our house was a castle and a tree. Our house, that is where we always meet. Thank you. I say a huge, 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 huge thank you to the house. Without you, we wouldn't be at this point, right? Your energy has spread through multiple channels, right? That we got it to this point. We even got his signature. Now we keep on, right? We keep on putting the pressure even on these politicians. Now that you've signed, you're still not going to sell us out. Sit down and negotiate a good package. I wish I could be part of those negotiations, because I truly start off with flexibility of hours, flexibility and choice of platforms, and now let's talk. Why did you once upon a time do 80-20 and 75 or 75-25? What happened to that? What can we work on now that is better than the current, right? Where can you take us to? What type of voice are you going to give us? What type of rights, right? We will help you keep Uber and Lyft alive. We will help you get to 2025 and 2030, but you have to work with us, not always around us, right? You have to work through us now, with us, through us, not around us, Uber and Lyft. Please, please understand that. It's a very, very, very basic formula that Dara and Logan Green need to understand. That the time to now iron this out, all the kinks, all the bumps, all the hurdles is now. Now is your golden opportunity to actually sit down and say, hey, can we have a body of drivers, representation from around the country, all states? Could we have maybe one representative from every state? Could we have 50 drivers that other drivers nominate to represent their state or represent their city? Or maybe could we have a panel of a few hundred drivers that have a say, that want to work with you? But don't throw 500 million at a PR campaign. Don't hire the Tony West to trash talk us. Don't spend $90 million on your war chest to say you're going to go to war with us on AB5. You could do so much with that money and get such better results. Tell us your bottom line. We'll tell you our bottom line, and let's see if we can make ends meet. Right. So I just read to you that announcement of the Office of the Governor of California, Gavin Newsom. There's his hashtag right there. Send him a tweet, thank him for the courage and the power, and tell him to keep on fighting for the driver and negotiate a good deal. Tell him what you want out of this deal. Write to him and tell him what you want out of this deal now that he's signed off on it. Carly said we should let the market control it, not the government. But Carly, understand that corporations, right, the market will always turn to, they'll always have, Google has an army of lobbyists. Apple has an army of lobbyists. James T, that was a little bit below the belt. I'm not going to allow that one. Not that type of language. We have to keep on putting the pressure on these politicians. That now companies will use corporations very, very effectively, right? They'll, hey, we'll donate this money to your senator campaign. We'll donate this money to your run for governor, right? They know which hands to grease, right? They know which hands to shake. But as the public, right, we vote these individuals in. So we have to keep on reminding them. It's fine, James T, not a problem, but I hear you. I'm with you in your thinking. I'm behind you. I just have a certain code of ethics in my room, certain language I allow to go through, certain language I delete, right? I don't allow drivers trash talking other drivers in this channel. I usually put an end to it right away. I want to keep a certain level of respect and positivity in my channel, right? And that thank God, I have the power to control that. That doesn't mean I'm not welcoming you. I love having you here, James T. You heard me say that. Should I say it again? I love having you here, James T. Deborah Vandenheuvel, remember in the beginning, passengers paid more, no tips, but added tip function. Passengers paid less, but lots of tips for me at least. Good. And you probably deserve every tip because you probably give platinum service, right? That's what I do as well. I tell the drivers that I lease the cars out to. Do you guys want to know how to increase your tips? 95% of the drivers that I lease out cars to are interested on hearing ways to increase their tips, right? Your tips should pay for your weekly gas. That's sort of like the rule of thumb, right? And I will also be having more, I'm buying more Priuses in LA and Orange County. So if there's any LA, Orange County, Ventura, Inland Empire, San Diego drivers who need a Prius, I have killer prices, right? I'm going to be buying several from dealerships again with my partners and then renting them out in my model, which I do very successfully there, set up lease agreements for drivers. Way better than hire car, way better than fare. They'll never keep up with our prices, right? And the reason's pretty simple, is because these companies buy the cars directly from dealerships at top prices. I buy the cars at the right price and I can lower my margins. My weekly lease rentals are far lower than hire car, and they're far lower than fair. That's how I get drivers into our cars. And my partner and I, bringing in further investors because we really, really want to ramp it up. We got those vehicles rented out extremely fast. And it's a great cash cow, right? If you're buying a Prius from between $5,000 to $8,000 at a dealership auction, hit me up. Anybody need Priuses? I'll have a lot of Priuses coming up soon. My email, my number will be beneath my videos. If you are looking for a car in any of those areas, let me just repeat: Ventura, Thousand Oaks, Los Angeles, Covina, Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County, right down to San Diego. If anybody needs a Prius, do please reach out to me. I have a lot coming up. Okay. Thank you, guys. Short and sweet. That was just acknowledgement for Gavin Newsom. We appreciate you. And who do I appreciate more than Gavin Newsom? All the members in our house, right? Thank you. Great video, great energy. Gary, love you. Keep the energy coming. Carly, yeah, Carlos, no problem. Hit me up if you're looking for a Prius, right? Really, really good rates. John Bauer, I appreciate you. Moist and squishy, interesting one. Short and sweet, that's what she said. Thank you. Premium Technologies Vision, we appreciate you. Tony Slaughter, as always, appreciate you. Alfredo, Laters, my friend. Sam, thank you. Carly's, thank you. Joey Lovato, love you back, my friend. Masarov, cheers to you, my friend. James Skidmore, in the house. Carly's, thank you. Stephen Lopez, thank you. You guys are wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Really happy to have you as family. I do consider you my brothers and sisters, and anyone in this house knows they can always text or email me. Try to get videos out. I try to expose stories. I try to help wherever I can, try to give my input. Very often, if I don't have a question, I'll call my attorney. I've done it. I've called my attorney friends. Hey, this guy needs some help. I can't quite help him. What do you suggest? Talks to me. I'll call the guy back. So, you know, wherever we can reciprocate, mutual exchange of positive energy is always a win-win situation. Those are the relationships we need to set up. Win-win situations. Not I lose, you lose, right? Victim, victim. We don't buy into that. We don't buy into situations where they win, we lose, right? We're the victim, they're the winners. We don't buy into that. The only relationships, my brothers and my sisters in our house, the ones that we seek, are win-win relationships. So if we can create any type of relationship that goes both ways, helps each other out, I'm all in, my friends. Have a blessed day, and thank you. Drive safe, folks, and thank you, Governor Newsom.